Buckeye father and son podcast duo. We're going to break down the Ohio State over Michigan State drumming, 56-7. Yeah, Dad, initial thoughts on the game.
I was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think we'd have our way with them like that.
Yeah.
They played a really good game on all phases of the game. And I have to wonder if it's just because their defense is that bad. They did have some key injuries. But what I was impressed with is more the defense. They shut Walker down. And I thought that was impressive. Yeah. And their top receiver didn't have that much. So defensively, they're starting to come into their own. They're very much reminding me of that LSU team a few years ago that won the national championship.
I'm with you. Like, closer and closer we got to that game, I was thinking it was going to be a tight game. Someone during the week mentioned to me about the Michigan State game in 2015, and I just felt there were so many similarities. The 2015 game and in the game this week, that I was feeling that Mel Tucker. I don't know. I have respect for him and you know the way they lost last year. Apparently, I heard that was kind of like a maybe turning point or pivotal point, motivating point for him and his team last year. So I was thinking that they would find a way to make it close. But yeah, I mean, I think Vegas knew something. I think it kind of came down to just on paper, like I guess their defense was so bad and our offense was so good. But I think we're also, like you're saying, peaking at the right time. I mean, this is the most complete. I mean, the second half was but who really cares?
But they didn't play the whole game, yeah.
Yeah. This was the most complete performance since with probably the Wisconsin win in 2014 that got us in the playoff. And even that, like that game was, I guess, more complete. Like for 4 quarters, they completely demolished them. But like this, comparing this to the Wisconsin game, these 2 quarters, it was just like lightning, unlike I've ever seen Ohio State team just score so quickly and just so deadly to just move the ball and score any play that I've ever seen. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I agree with you. I was impressed. I was a little bit shocked. But you've got such young kids out there playing, and this is just so surprising. The offensive line did a great job. CJ Stroud looked good. He spread the ball around. We got the opening kickoff, and they stuffed us because we started to run it instead of drop the catch or something, and we were like on the 15-yard line or something. And they continued to march all the way down the field and score a touchdown.
So CJ Stroud for Heisman, Dad?
I'm kind of on the bandwagon with others about the Heisman just being hype.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not really people who are voting on it are voting on it on hype. I think CJ set himself up for Heisman moments in his next 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
But Bryce Young looked good too. It's just their defense did not look great. Ryan Day's comments at the press conference were like, to be honest with you, the team probably doesn't care. But if you look at the statistics, I mean, you have to wonder, this is the kind of thing.
Well, right? I disagree that he doesn't care. I mean, I think for one thing.
No, I didn't say he didn't care. I said,
okay.
I meant he said that the team doesn't think it's a top priority or something that they're focusing on.
Yeah.
For them, they're just trying to get better. It's about the team.
I understand that, but I think if CJ wins the Heisman, I think that is huge in recruiting. Especially, I mean, they're trying to their whole philosophy is trying to get top quarterback every year. They want to get another top quarterback in this recruiting cycle. and they're kind of struggling to do so. I mean, understandably, because their room is so stacked. But I mean, if CJ wins the Heisman, I mean, it, I and you see like another top quarterback head in here in the 2022 class, I would not be surprised.
I don't know why they're so eager to get a quarterback. I don't think they need to worry about it for another year. I'm more worried about replacing the offense, some of the guys in the offensive line, and continue to recruit defensive guys. We continue to lose people, but they just said that the guy from LSU cornerback, who was a 5-star a year ago or so, has just declared himself into the portal. So We'll see where that goes. But Georgia continues to get the top DBs. I mean, it's unbelievable. I would contend that if he wins the Heisman, it's a problem. And I would even submit to you that if we win the national championship, we got a real problem. Because you can't not start him next year. Quinn Ewers is going to have to sit one more year out. So really, Quinn Ewers wasn't supposed to come in until the January. And had he sat out 1 year in January, that might not have been as big a deal.
Yeah, that's an interesting argument.
But at the same time, if CJ wins the Heisman, then it proves you only need 1 year and you can still be a first-round draft pick, right? So he could say to the guys like McCord or Ewers, look, you only need 1 year. CJ took 1 year to get it, and he's got the Heisman. And if he could go out now, he'd probably be first-round draft pick.
The Heisman is flawed. I mean, I think most people would not agree that CJ Stroud is the most outstanding player in college football. The Heisman is basically the most flashy, best quarterback, on a good team, and that right now is CJ Stroud, and I mean he's the front runner. I mean, I think
Bryce Young.
And I think Bryce Young has the shiniest stage at the end of the season to leave a better last impression. I mean, if Bryce Young somehow lights up that Georgia defense, or he has a good game in that game, then that would definitely put a dent in CJ's Heisman hope. But right now things are looking good. I was happy to hear Ryan Day really emphasize it in the post-game press conference, because they crushed Michigan State. They looked really good, but next week is going to be a whole different game, and I guarantee you it's going to be a lot closer.
But the spread is about the same right now.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, I say take Michigan with the points there. I mean,
well, that's what we thought last time too.
I've said, since earlier this season that this is the game I'm most worried about. I think there's the biggest chance of them stumbling. I'm not picking them to, but I think it's going to be a very tight game. I think it's going to be a very close game. And I was just, like I said, I was just happy to hear Ryan Day just kind of not really accept any compliments about the win, and just really turn all his focus to Michigan, because that's what they need to do right now. I see OSU by 8.
Oh, is that what the spread is?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, 8 with a 63.5 over/under.
But the ESPN Power Football Index matchup predictor has a 61.8% chance to win.
So what do you think will happen Saturday?
Yeah, I think it's going to be one for the ages. I think it'll be
like that one we saw in 2006.
I think 2006 might be a good comparison. Honestly, I could also see it being like 2013. Is it 2013 when it came down to a failed 2-point conversion by Michigan for the Buckeyes to walk off with a win. Like I could see it being that close.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll pick maybe even the same score of that game. I'm gonna pick Buckeyes 42, Michigan 41.
So where do you think we'll end up in the college football playoff on Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean I think they'll be 2. I could see them being 2 or 3. I think they should be 2. And so yeah, I think they will be 2, but
If
committee
they'll
seem
get the SEC love.
yeah, they seem to have that bias. I think they will be 2. You know, I mean, does it really matter?
So I like seeing Maya and Williams take on some of that role.
Yeah, for
Take
sure.
the heat off of
Yeah, and,
Travion. I think
yeah,
he's just got a
especially
freshman body. He needs to put on some weight, some muscle.
yeah, giving him a fresh. I mean, he had less than 10 carries. Travion did this week, so giving him a fresh load for next week that is huge. I mean, listen to this. Alabama beating Auburn, losing to Georgia, and the Buckeyes winning out away from a Ohio State Cincinnati 2-3 semifinal.
Oh
Do
my
you agree?
God. I don't
Is,
know. That's a
isn't
good
that?
question.
I think that's what if that's what happened. I think that's what would happen, and that would be insane. That would be crazy. Fickle versus his old team in the playoff. They got their butts
They'd love
kicked
to
in
die by that.
2019. I was hoping Oregon won out because I wanted to play Oregon again, but
Yeah.
they
I
that
think
was
we
not
would have
going to
thrashed
happen.
Oregon if we played them again.
And I think we always knew this, but I mean I think our best defense is a great offense. I think I mean I think the defense did come out like pretty aggressive, but I think what really gets them going is if the offense is clicking like that. Then that's I think when they're at their best, and that's when
Oh yeah. I mean, college
that's when they're
football to me
designed
is
to be at their
about
best.
momentum. No question about it. It's
Yeah,
about momentum.
yeah,
And that momentum can flip on a dime. And
hmm
when the offense, as potent as they were this weekend, that puts pressure on the opposing team's offense to keep up. Because if the defense our defense shuts them down, then our offense goes and scores again, and then they're down that much more. They need to come back. It puts so much pressure on the other team.
yeah,
So,
for
you
sure.
know,
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think they just feed off each other, really. And like I
yeah.
said, it reminds me so much of the LSU team.
Burrow is much better than Stroud right now, and I think our wideouts are better than those wideouts.
I don't
Probably.
know, Jamar Chase, and they had
Yeah,
some pretty good
I think
wideouts, man.
these guys have the chance to be better, definitely.
I think they do too. And I think CJ, I thought Burrow's offensive scheme, there were a lot of, well, so did us. So I don't know. I think he was right on par with where Burrow was. Really do. And
Yeah,
he's only a freshman. It's just really crazy. So he's just
yeah.
got a pretty good high football IQ. I was
I
disappointed to see Kyle McCord get in there and throw that interception. That ball was a horribly thrown ball.
yeah, it's disappointing on one hand, but then I think it kind of boosts CJ Stroud's kind of Heisman candidacy, and I think it just makes you I think it just gives you more respect for CJ Stroud, and especially because there's so much narrative out there that it's not him, it's the talent around him that makes his team so good. So when you see
And I
that,
tell you what, Heisman Trophy voters love him because he's humble as can be. Right?
yeah,
Every time he
that's
gets up
true.
there, he thanks God. He thanks his offensive line. Everybody.
That last drive that he had, if he was able to cap that off with a touchdown, and then there was a narrative of he has the single game Ohio State record by himself for the most touchdowns in a game at 7 touchdowns instead of 6, and being tied with a bunch of other people in Ohio State history. I think that would have just kind of really punctuated it more. And I think he would be significantly more of a front runner if he had been able to do that, and then be able to say he finished off all of his drives. And then, all right, yeah, I'll let you get to bed.
All right, dude.
Yeah, look forward to talking after the game.
Yeah, me too.